If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Getting set to go for another season of motorcycling. It is Dawson Dobson joined us this morning. Dawson, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you.
It's got to be a little bit disappointing, I guess. You were scheduled for the first competition this weekend, but rain kind of got in the way.
Yes, sir, it did. You know, the parking was too muddy. The track was underwater. It just wouldn't have been safe for anyone.
Yeah.
I think they made a great call.
Yeah. You're ready to go for another year, and you know, you've been doing this a long time, and we talked about before how you got your start and that kind of stuff. But as you have progressed, what are you looking for in the season of 2019?
I'm looking for more success, more wins, more national titles. You know, anything less than that would be a disappointment, a letdown.
Now, the training is a challenge to anybody, but your training is something you feel like you're in better shape than you've ever been.
Yes, sir. I am in the best shape of my life right now. I've got my diet dialed. I'm getting hours a day of cardio. I'm getting my weight training in at the local gym in town, and it's great. I feel great.
Yeah. Let's talk about the dieting part of it. I mean, a young guy like yourself, you got a lot of options out there of food choices, but your diet is important to you getting ready for the 19 season. Tell us about the diet.
The diet just basically consists of fats, protein, and carbohydrates with micronutrients. I'm making sure I get my vegetables in. Lean protein, such as chicken, 93.7, fat-free, ground beef, wheat pasta, white rice.
What do you keep away from, or try to?
I try to keep away from the white breads, white pastas, white potatoes. Sweet potatoes are the best things you can have.
Yeah. The weekend that was scheduled, you were excited about that, and of course the weather kind of washed that one out, but the season just beginning, and how have you prepared for this season? And it's a pivotal season for you, to say the least, and how have you prepared for this year?
I prepared just by making minor tweaks, such as the diet. I've had to do extra cardio for the longer race. I will be racing 3 hours this year, so we'll be on the bike for a long time. I've tried to build strength as well as muscle endurance. You
mentioned 3 hours on a bike. Is there any break in that at all?
No, sir, no break.
Oh.
I'll take off at 1 o'clock, finish at 4 o'clock. It's a grueling 3-hour race. You know, some races will be chilly, some races will be hot, but it's going to be tough.
You know, for people who may not realize that there's a lot of things can take place in a 3 hour, you think you're traveling 3 hours in a vehicle, and you know, you're going to get stopped and take a break or go to the bathroom or get something to eat or that kind of thing. 3 hours on a bike is grueling, to say the least, and you have to be on top of it the whole 3 hours.
Yes, sir. There's no breaks. About the bathroom, I guess just go before you get on there, and hope for the best with that.
You have to watch your fluid intake, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Before a race, for sure. What kind of bike you got this year?
I'm riding a KTM 300, same bike I raced on last year. We've had a lot of great wins together, so hopefully we can keep it up.
So talk about this past season, and I know you were involved in championship racing. Talk about the awards from last year.
The awards from last year were great. I went to the AMA banquet for the first time in Columbus, Ohio. It was amazing.
I saw some picture of that. That was huge, too,
Yes, sir. It really was. It really was. But no, they sent me a very nice #1 trophy. I got 2 #1 plates and a gold medal.
So what drives you to continue motorcycling?
Winning. Yes, sir. I want to win. I want to be great.
Yeah.
And that just keeps pushing me.
Is this considered professional racing now, or what is it considered?
So on the very final stage of amateur racing, I'm riding A class, which is Pro-Am. It's basically like in baseball, minor leagues, waiting to get into the major leagues.
Like a AAA team waiting to get to the majors.
Yes, sir.
And so what is it going to take for you to get there?
Just another championship, more wins, and we get that, and the plan is to go to the 125 Pro next year.
What will be the differences in say AAA and the majors? What's some of the major differences?
A lot of faster guys. Going to the 125 Pro, the bike will be a smaller displacement, which means it will be slower.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's just faster guys. And you get paid, of course,
Yeah,
to win.
that's
so
not bad at all.
That's always nice.
Now, what's on tap next with the postponement of this weekend's race?
So March 9 and 10, we'll be heading to Palatka, Florida. Very South Florida, very deep sands, and hit the first race there.
So have you raced on that track before?
I've raced there twice. I've had one good finish, one not so good finish.
Talk about the obstacles that you face in a track like that.
A track like that's really difficult. The sand is so deep, it's like it's never ending. It doesn't have a base to it. It's in the swampy part of Florida, so there's some mud holes, very deep, and if you get stuck in that, you're pretty much there until someone comes and gets you out. Those palm trees, they're a little slick going over. Definitely don't want to fall in those.
So how long a track is that? What is the length of the race, I guess?
I think the track is about 12 to 13 miles. I think it's about 12 miles. Yeah, that's what it was in 2017.
So once you get on that bike, and just say it's 12 miles.
Yes, sir.
You're on that bike from start to finish for that 12 miles.
Yes, sir. We'll be doing about 6 laps in the 3 hours. So
how do you concentrate and that kind of stuff for 3 hours on a track that you've been on twice and one good finish and one not so good finish? How do you concentrate and keeping your mind in what you're doing?
I just try to focus on the next turn. I always focus on the next turn, the turn before, and that's the way I try to keep concentrated on it.
And you don't have any communication with anybody, or do you, during that race?
No, sir. When I pass my father, he'll hold a pit board that he writes on, let me know where I'm running, how far I am behind, when to stop for gas and all.
Yeah, okay. So you have pit stops and like that for fuel?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This race will probably have 2 pit stops.
Yeah.
So
you're not off the bike, you're on the bike and they're fueling and you're going, right?
yes, sir. I just stop, pull the gas cap off, and he throws a quick fill in there.
Right. In 2019, Dawson Dobson motorcycle racing, and the competitive aspect of this is kind of drives you to win. And excited about 2019 season. Where's some other venues that you'll be going to this year?
So Florida, we'll start in Florida. The next week we will continue to Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, New York, Pennsylvania, Indiana, places like that.
Now, all this costs money. There are no freebies here, and you got to have a team that is involved with you. Can you get sponsorships for your bike, or is that against the rules, or what?
No, sir, you can have sponsorships. I do have a few, such as CST Tires. They come on board, helping me out with tires this year. Great, big fan of them, and I appreciate it. Factory Connection, I've been working them for suspension since I was on mini bikes. But other than that, it's my dad, my grandmother, and I.
Yeah. And walk us through a travel week for you, say to Florida. That itinerary you already got set?
Yes, sir. We focus really on changing the workouts, not overdoing it, so being too tired. We'll leave, say, on a Friday morning. We'll drive all day Friday, get there Saturday, check in, start carb loading, and get some rest. And just.
Do you know other drivers that are participating as well in the event?
Yes, sir. I know a few of them.
Okay. I mean, do you correspond with them and y'all back and forth on stuff, or just know them from track to track?
I pretty much just know them from track to track. You don't want to get too involved in the competition.
Yeah. Dawson Dobson is our guest this morning, and he continues competitive racing how many cycles do you have?
I have 2 motorcycles.
Okay. And if one goes down, you got another one that you can put on the track, is that right?
Yes, sir. They're always prepared.
All right. And Dawson Dobson is our guest this morning, and he will continue in 2019 in competitive motorcycle racing. And I don't know, is this called cross country, or what is this particular type racing called?
It is cross country.
Okay.
It'll be the GNCC, which stands for Grand National Cross Country.
Yeah. You keep up with other professional races as far as maybe at the next level and kind of watching what might be ahead for you?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, the cool thing about these races are you actually get to race while the pros are on the track. So they take off
it'll probably be somewhat warm in Florida in early March, but there's some venues you go to, you get all kind of weather.
Yes, sir. You race in the rain, freezing cold. One race they had snow in Indiana. So that's never fun. I'm not a snow guy, not much of a cold guy, but the rain, wet conditions are my favorite.
Yeah. You mentioned your father. You took a year off last year and to help with your father, and your father's been a real asset to you. He actually taught you, did he not, early on in life?
Yes, sir. He taught me how to ride. He's still my coach to this day with my riding, and we push each other though.
All right, that sounds good. I know you do. And that's a win-win for both of you.
It really is.
And of course, Dawson Dobson, he will be back with us again later on in the summer as he continues different venues of motorcycle racing. And we certainly appreciate you coming this morning. Wish you the best of luck in 2019, and stay safe and win some more trophies.
Thank you. I'll do my best.
All right, Dawson Dobson is our guest this morning here on Daybreak. We'll be back with more after this.